Today we're talking about the Quebec City Mute and the World Junior Championship. Grab you a cup of Stoffy. All right, let's get into it. All right, so first and foremost, let me go ahead and just share with you my screen. One moment. Okay, here we go. So, as I said, today we're going to be talking about the Quebec City Mute. Now, the Mute, as far as I have come to know, is literally the Quebec City Wolfpack. I don't speak French, but that's what's been told to me, so that's what I'm going with. So, as you can see, Quebec City has played 27 games. They won 15, lost 11, had an overtime loss in one game, and have 31 points. Just to give you a short little interlude, Davos down here is 27, 5, and 20. So, Quebec City, as of right now, has won four of their last games. They've actually got the longest winning streak in the VHL right now. So, beyond that, let's get into some of these games. All right, so now, as of today, we have played 107 games. That means there's still quite a few games, but we're nearing the middle of the season here. So, let's go ahead and just go from the bottom up. So, as you can see, Davos lost to Helsinki 7-1. But here's a good game right here. So, the Quebec City Mute beat the Toronto Legion. Let's go ahead and click on this and see what we can find. Okay. So, Toronto had 35 shots on goal. Quebec City had 29. Bo Luth was the first star out of Quebec. Colton Rain and Marvin Harding round out the top 3 stars. Now, let's go ahead and just see. So as you can see, Quebec isn't getting too many penalties, but they definitely have a very deep, they definitely have a very deep roster. Okay, let's take a look at it here. So we got Samuel Gate for high sticking at 6:18, Samuel Gate for tripping at 9:06, and Samuel Gate for holding at 15:32. It seems like Samuel Gate is the bad boy of Quebec in this particular game. However, from there, he's also a king of assists. Look at this. He's got 22 assists in his games already. Now, beyond that, we start to see down here in period 2 that the Quebec City Mute, led by Bo Luth, has his 17th goal of the year, with Colton Rains and Casey Jones scoring on a power play. But this period is not without penalties. Samuel Gate is back at it with a high sticking penalty at 6:10. Samuel Gate, not to be outdone by himself, goes back in with a holding penalty at 17:11. Now, in period 3, Quebec City scores one more time with Colton Rain. Samuel Gate gets his 23rd assist on the season on a power play. Now, for penalties, we have Toby Fitzgerald with a hooky minor at 5:45. Bo Luth gets into it because he didn't want to be outdone by anybody for a tripping minor at 7:34. Let's see, Sebastian Ironside. No, he's with Toronto. Don't care. Let's see. And Marvin Harding even got a roughing penalty at 19:49. Just as the game was getting done, Samuel, who had actually been Marvin Harding, at the end of the game actually decided that he wanted to get into it because he was done scoring for the day. So, goalies on tap tonight are Noah Stopko, who you may remember from the Calgary Wranglers. He's now on the Toronto Legion. He had 25 of 29. And Tristan Izalt, who used to actually play for the Yukon Rush and run a Benoit Devereaux in season 60, I believe. And he stopped 32 of 35 and wins with a 15-11-1 record. This drops Noah Stopko down to 12-7-3. All right, let's go back to the other. See if we can find another mute game. Here we go. Seattle Bears 1, Quebec City Mute 6. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So it's absolutely even on shots. Our 3 stars of the game were all from Quebec. Bo Luth, Tristan Izalt, and Samuel Gate. As you can see, the scorecard definitely leaves a lot to be desired for the Seattle Bears. In the first period, we have Quebec's Jordan Wade with Bo Luth scoring. Jordan scores his 7th of the year, and Bo gets his 16th assist of the year. Then, not to be outdone by Jorgen, Bo decides to return the favor and score his 15th of the year, with Jorgen getting the assist. Now, for penalties, we have Marvin Harding with a holding minor at 8:02, and then the rest of those for that period are to Seattle. Now, moving on to period 2, we see everything start to pick up. Bo is back with Samuel Gate with his 16th of the year. And Samuel Gate gets his 21st assist of the year at 3:30. Vernon Dragomir and Marvin Harding combine on a power play for Viren's 14th goal of the year and Marvin's 11th assist. Then, not to be outdone by the other two, Samuel Gate gets his 4th of the year, with Vernon Dragomir getting his 16th and Ronald Paulo getting his 15th assist, respectively, on the power play. Now, let's take a look at these penalties for period 2. The only penalties that I'm seeing that are incurred by Quebec are Toby Fitzgerald for cross-checking at 10:09. Everything else is handled by the Seattle Bears. The Bears are being Bears. In period 3, oh goodness, the Quebec D1 won with Quebec right wing and Quebec D2 get their first goals and assist of the season. And Jordan Wade decides to not to be outdone by everybody else, gets a hooking minor at 1:59. Tristan Izalt wins his 14th game. And Roger Sterling loses, but still has an 18-8 record. Folks, Quebec City is where you want to keep your eyes for this particular season. I think that they're going to really surprise a lot of people. And their fourth place ranking with 4 wins. Look at this here. With their 4 wins this season, in this particular stretch, they have a chance to really move up the standings. They're the only team who has accomplished this feat. Their differential is 13. Now, even though Seattle's still in first place, Quebec has shown that they can go in and win. And they can win against hard teams. I'll just say it. I think that Quebec City will make it to the finals this year. That is a Cup of Stoffy exclusive. I think Quebec City is going to make the finals this year. And I'm just going to put that out there. Now, beyond that, Keaton Luth actually, has a statement that he wanted me to read on the air, which I will do now. Give me just a moment. Let me just prepare that for you. Let's see. All right. So, this comes from Keaton Luth. The Quebec City Mute has had a rough start to start the season, and we're lacking a good fourth defenseman to cover one of our guys if one of our guys are in the box. Since we have acquired that D-man, we have been a lot better. We beat Riga and Seattle, the two heavy hitters in the league, by drastic scores. For people listening, you will be watching Quebec slowly pass Toronto in the coming days, and then onward to the top of the league. Go Mute. I can't say I don't disagree with you, Keaton. It's been a crazy, crazy ride to the top. And you guys are doing a hell of a job. So good job. Now I'm going to switch gears, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the World Junior Championship. Now, a few of our teams for the World Junior Championship have already gotten their teams. Yours truly actually gets to be the starting goalie for your United States team. It's an extreme honor, and I'm absolutely just over the moon about it. It just makes everything better. I've waited so long to be the starting goalie of Team USA. So before we continue, let's go ahead and see if we can find the other folks who have listed their teams so that we can kind of go through and see who all we have on there. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Let's see. One of the coolest things about the World Junior Championship is that no one in it can be over 350 TPE. So, beyond that, the one big thing that I see is that at the end of the day, you're having the best up-and-coming folks that you can. So let's take a good gander at this here. All right, so we have Curtis Gary on our forwards from Saskatoon. We have Chance Matthews from Ottawa, Gritty from Ottawa, Jose from Davos with me, Kyson Blake from Ottawa, Nico Sulerski from LVA. We got Katie Warren from Ottawa, Josh Harris from Oslo, and Orion Slade from LVA. On defense, we got the man, Ryan Sullivan Jr., played with him last season. Eric Parker from LVA. We have Jagger Philly fan from Oslo. And then we have Spitty Werben Jagerman Jensen from Ottawa. For goalies, we got Cole Mertz, who'll be backing me up. And you got your boy Rhett Stoffy as the starting goalie for Team USA. I dig it. I dig this. I think we've got a really good shot this year. Let's see. Let's see if we can find the Team Canada roster. Let's see. It may just take me a moment. Hang on. 1 second. Come on now. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Season 64 junior rosters have been announced. For another year, Julian Borwin has been named the GM of the club despite his intense scheduling conflict in the VHL. So, Brick Wall, good friend of mine, and just a knockout goalie, and Kevin Weeks, who's a perennial VHLMer. I think he's been in the VHLM for like 5 seasons now. I will say this. That's going to be a tough matchup. Now, Brick Wall earned a gold medal with Team Canada last year. And also, sadly enough, got a VHLM championship last year at my expense. So I just have to say that I am going to be working extra hard to make sure that I can get a one-up on Brick Wall and Kevin Weeks. I will say this. I am extremely scared of Team Canada and Team Asia. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I'm scared of all of the teams. Let's see. Now, Caden Saint and Toby Fitzgerald, who we just talked about on Quebec, are going to be starting for the team as defensemen. Brady Stopko and Mitch Matthews are the new talent and will be benefiting from Caden and Toby. Now, the forward core is a little bit scarier. We've got Sean Shenanigan, Joey Boucher, and Gushi Garup as the top offensive threats. We have John Madden. We have Star-Lord. We have Dan Bailey, Connor McDavid, and Nathan N. all coming out and balling, just going for it this year. It's really important that we keep a good eye on these teams, because I will say one thing: you never want to get on Canada's bad side. You never want to be on the wrong side of a win streak. Now, moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and just end it here today. I want to make sure that there's content for Wednesday's episode. I hope y'all are enjoying these podcasts. I really love doing them. You guys have been wonderful in your support, and I just want to thank you all for everything that you've done to make these things possible. I know that today's episode is a little bit more info-filled than some of my other episodes, and I appreciate you taking the time to kind of listen to them and really kind of enjoy them. I'm sorry if it wasn't that interesting today. I promise you I will continue to be a little bit more interesting as time goes on. Thank you for listening. This has been Cup of Stoffy.